€62 million to bring Lenny Joro back to Old Trafford, €53 million for the first round against Michael Ohl's Allianz Arena, or €47.5 million to convince the Anderlecht Bronze to go to the Royal Rambler. The numbers above are the money that the big guys of European football have spent to bring the goals to this point of the summer transfer market in 2024. But wait a minute, if you're going to be so stingy with the numbers on the other side. Because what the clubs have been doing so far in the summer 2024 transfer market is still not inferior to the most terrible transfer value in history. Maybe many people still remember a few years ago, the transfer value of the players at that time was increasing rapidly, and many teams did not regret a few hundred million to bring home quality players. Now it's time for the most anticipated part. I must admit, the total value of this model is even €1.3 billion. So, a name in the list of the most expensive plastic models in history, including you. And what did they show after being bought at this incredible price? Right now, let's get to the main topic. Thumb and Kepa to the Stamford Bridge, for the last days of the season. At that time, Kepa was only 24 years old, and although very talented, his fame was not so great. That's why the €80 million that Chelsea left behind was a big question mark, and that put a terrible pressure on Kepa's shoulder. At that time, Kepa's huge price has broken records in the world of transfer, making him the most expensive goalkeeper in the history of football. In the first 2 seasons, he wore the shirt the Blues. To be fair, Kepa was only playing at the level of a full-time player, not too excellent. After that, his match time was also gradually decreasing, and he no longer received the trust from the position of the goalkeeper. Now, Kepa is playing the role of a reserve goalkeeper at Real Madrid, with a contract for loan. The goalkeeper, Josko Vardian, €90 million. Josko Vardian was promoted when he was in the Croatia team in World Cup 2022. Here, although he was very young, he has shown his potential with unbelievable performances. After that, a series of famous clubs have pursued and want to have the signature of the 2002 goalkeeper. In 2002. In the end, in the summer of last year, Milan won the match with a prize of €90 million to bring this defender to Etihad. Under the heavy hands of Pep Guardiola, Van Dijk has had a relatively good first season and is increasingly showing his expected perfection. Harry Maguire's goal €87 million before being brought back by Manchester United and established a new milestone for a defender's transfer fee. Harry Maguire proved himself as a steel-walled leaf, a key player in Leicester City's defensive lineup, as well as in the English team. This is a tall, aggressive, good situation read defender, and his ability to play football is also extremely impressive. So, Mu didn't hesitate to put out a huge number to convince Leicester to sign him. However, with the exaggeration and the tremendous pressure at the Dream House, everything happened not in a pink. Harry Maguire showed good performance in the first period. But then, when he was handed the captain's title, he made a lot of mistakes and was always questioned. Until now, although he still shows professionalism, his position is no longer considered the most important in the Manchester Reds. The overall is Mathis Daly €85.5 million. Mathis Daly is one of the great names of the IJKG and UEFA Champions League. In the summer 2019 transfer market, he is the name that is welcomed by the big guys with a full set of skills for a position in the defense. After the last point, Mathis Daly chose to call the name Juventus, with a fee of €85.5 million. Although the price is very high, in fact, the duration of this player's Juve is only at the level of his shoulder and hip. Now, after moving to Munich, this player also does not have an official position and is being predicted on the field to leave the Bavarian league. News about the center: Enzo Fernandez €121 million, Borges Caicedo €116 million. Chelsea, after completing the transfer with the billionaire third in power, did not hesitate to keep it to upgrade and reform. One of the first steps was made right after World Cup 2022, with the name of the extremely excellent and winning golden boy of the biggest football tournament in the world, Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea then accepted Kai to give €121 million to Benfica to bring Enzo back to his home. After a season and a half at Stavropoulos, Enzo was actually only a stable contribution, not to outstanding. Meanwhile, Monza's Sky Seed after a while made all the Premlicks have to be scared, with the goal shown when the shirt was in the sea, also collided with Chelsea in the summer of last year. However, from that time to now, the injury is still so tough, sticking to the wonderful goalkeeper, making him hardly show to many things. The winner is Joe Felix, with €127 million. In the summer of 2019, with the wave of crazy transfers around Europe, Atletico Madrid has successfully convinced Joe Felix, one of the most talented young players at the moment. Felix previously had a promising season at his hometown, in the blood of Benfica. But when he received a big expectation in a higher level tournament, everything turned into disappointment, without a win. In the first 3 seasons, Joe Felix was always given the opportunity to play in the field. But the statistics he brought back were not very special. In the 2 most recent seasons, Felix was repeatedly loaned to Chelsea and Barcelona, but he did not leave any significant mark. On the right, Philippe Coutinho's failure, his career, when he didn't listen to the words of Jurgen Klopp, maybe became a famous line. At that time, the young lady was achieving a high level in the football team in Anfield. But then in the winter of 2017 to 2018, in front of the invitation from the Giants scandal, with a transfer fee of €135 million, Coutinho decided to take off his shirt, leave Bromley and move to Barcelona. But then, on that ruined land, the story of this talented man's career has been buried forever, among the sand, on the beach of the beautiful city of Barcelona. Philippe Coutinho since he came to Barca has been unparalleled, making many people not even realize the day of his retirement. To end the last days of the mountain of regret, Coutinho has now returned to Qatar to play football, in the blood of uddhav. The left-hand side, Neymar, €222 million. The craziest in the history of transfer, certainly has to be the case of PSG, when they were trying to buy Neymar to realize the dream of the European players. In the summer of 2017, the Samba player, considered to be a rare one, left Barcelona to come to the light capital Paris, in the battle of the World Cup. Neymar has been a long time in PSG. During that time, he was always considered one of the top stars, an important factor of football. However, after a lot of fun and sadness, Neymar still can't succeed in becoming great. At this time, Kuzabaksa has moved to the Arab, and played for Al Hilal, when some of it was marked by the influence of the age. The right back, Osman Edebel, €135 million. In the summer of 2017, to fill up the position that Neymar left, Barca used the money to bring a very talented player, from Borussia Dortmund, Ousmane Dembele. The need to move to a new environment with a super high price, received a lot of pressure from the media, and challenges about integration, made it very difficult for the French to start. Even many years later, Dembele was still not able to break through to reach the level of his potential. However, to be fair, Ousmane Dembele is still a good player, and a trusted player in PSG, and France. The middle fielder, Kylian Mbappe €180 million. One of the most valuable, and expected transfer contracts. It must be the transfer of Kylian Mbappe's PSG, to the summer of 2017. Mbappe was only 18 years old at that time, and was paid €180 million by PSG, to bring him back, to Parc des Princes. After a long season, this player played very well in Monaco. In Paris, Mbappe really improved himself. This player showed his improvement, showed his level, his ability and was always in the top of the world's best players. Recently, after signing a contract with the French national football team, Mbappe has also officially been transferred to the small favorite team Real Madrid, to mark a new milestone in his career. €1.3 billion for 11 names, for the team the most expensive injury ever made for football history. Perhaps we can only use the word crazy to describe the injuries above. So I see, a lot of money is good enough. Not all red earth injuries are worth it. There are too many of them in the above picture for many reasons, from bomb to bomb when they haven't shown themselves. But no matter how terrible the numbers, or how many years do you think it will take to break the record of these wars? Please comment below for us to discuss. Goodbye, and see you again.